If you sell 3D printed products and feel like you're undercharging for your products or designs, feel like your designs are worth more, and or think that your value in terms of what you sell is worth more than what you're charging for, then in this video, I'm going to help you understand why you should charge more for your 3D prints and exactly how to do that without having to print more, offering less options, while still being able to deliver an exceptional product to your customers. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Brandon. I've been a designer and creator for the past 5 years. Very recently, I started a physical product business called Mountable. All of our designs are 3D printed, and my goal with this business is to deliver premium 3D prints that I can print and ship to my customers. And the key thing with this business, and a majority of my printing, more specifically my business around 3D printing, I've never been the one to offer the cheapest services. I've never been the one to offer the cheapest memberships or services in terms of working with me. And I've also never been the one to want to compete on price with people who sell a similar product to me. Now, the reason why is because as a seller, and I think for everyone who is selling 3D printed products, I think we can all relate to the fact that we want to make the most amount of money from the products we sell. But at the same time, we still feel like we want to deliver a good product to our customers, because by delivering a good product, people are naturally going to come back, buy more, and they're much more likely to refer their friends to you if you do have a good product. That's the nature of any business. And in business, you want to price your products competitively while at the same time leaving yourself with enough margin for you to make money, while still having leftover margin to reinvest and make your products better. Now, if you sell 3D printed products and feel like you're undercharging, maybe even having to charge less than what you feel your prints are worth, then I want to help you out and kind of help you rethink, more specifically shift your perspective around selling 3D printed products and how to charge more for your physical prints. Now, I want to start off with a quick analogy, more specifically, several scenarios that kind of help paint a picture as to why undercharging could be holding you back. So, we're going to jump into my iPad here and kind of cover this topic in detail. So, here on my screen, right, we have two different ladders. So, this is ladder on the end, which is like low end, and then the ladder on the right, high end, right? Now, let me give you guys an analogy here. I want you to imagine you are hungry and you say you're craving a steak, right? So what would someone like yourself do if you're craving a steak? And more specifically, if I were to paint a picture here, if you were hungry, craving a steak, and you wanted something to eat tonight, what would some reasonable person do? Like, what would somebody do? Would they go find a cow, kill it, and then cook it? Would they go to the store, buy the meat, and then, cook it? Or would they go to a restaurant and then sit down and have someone cook it for them? Well, the most obvious answer here is that someone would be on the lower end. They would go here and they would go to a store and buy it for around $15 to $20 for, let's just say, a steak, whatever that looks like. You guys can kind of get that general idea. Now, in another scenario, there is person B, and person B is just like you. They're hungry, they want a steak, and they want to eat tonight. But instead of this person going to a store and spending $15 to $20 on a steak, they go to somewhere like Fogo de Chao and spend $80 on a meal or a steak. Usually steaks are like 50 to 60 bucks, 50, 80 bucks, depending on the amount of steak you get, 6 ounce, 8 ounce, petite steak. But the general idea here in this analogy is like person B goes to Fogo de Chao, which is a high-end restaurant, basically selling meats, and it's more like a restaurant where you sit down and dine in. Person B goes in there and spends pretty much 4 to 5 times more on the exact same thing compared to person A that only spends $15 to $20 on a steak. Now, why is person B, or more specifically, the higher tier, able to charge substantially more on the exact same product? The outcome is the same. The steak is cooked. You're well fed. You will pretty much feel satiated after you eat the steak. Like, there's virtually no difference between the outcome, which is just you feeling satiated, you not being that hungry. But the difference between on the low end versus the high end is what happens here in the middle, and the steps and things that are done that increase the value of the steak. And I don't mean the steak has more value just simply because you go to a restaurant, but rather the steak has more value because of certain things done here at these stages that make it more valuable. Now, what if I told you this? What if there was another person in this equation, person C? And in this scenario, person C pays, let's just say, $150, but this time Gordon Ramsay cooks their steak. So now, although the outcomes in this scenario is all the same, you feel better, you have a steak, you feel fuller, some people are willing to pay more for the exact same thing, which is truthfully the same outcome. And in this scenario where person A is going to spend $15 to $20, and in this scenario, this person is willing to pay $50 to $80 on a steak, and in this scenario, somebody's willing to pay $150 to $200 just to have it cooked by Gordon Ramsay, what is the key difference between all of these scenarios? Well, the key difference is the fact that who are you selling to? Person A just wants to eat. Person B wants the meal without, or I would say the meal with convenience, right? No cooking, no cleanup. And then person C wants the experience, to say, oh yes, I had a steak made by Gordon Ramsay. The common thing that you see with person A, B, and C is like what the outcomes are all the same, but what people pay for and the type of person you're selling to is vastly different. You're not going to sell a Fogo de Chao or Gordon Ramsay steak or dinner to someone who is a person A, because person A would not be interested in it. They're looking to save money and just be fed. Whereas person B, you're not likely to sell them on a $15 steak because they don't want to cook it themselves, but they don't want to either spend more money than they need to on just having Gordon Ramsay cook it. And you're not likely to have person C spend, or want to do A or B, what person A or B did, because they want to have the experience. They want to have someone else do it instead of them doing it themselves. But my point with this analogy here is like, it's all the same. The outcome, the road, is all the same. And the destination, regardless of what is being sold to each customer, is all the same. Now, how does this relate to 3D printing? Well, here in my hand, I have a spool of filament. How much could you charge at most if you were a vendor selling filament? You probably couldn't charge more than $15 to $20, maybe $25 at most. At most, you really can't charge that much, because if you want to stay competitive and if you want to sell, let's just say if you're a vendor that sells PLA filament and you can manufacture it within your facility, at most you can only charge that much, $12 to $25, because that's just the market rate for filaments. Now, the question is, as a seller, you as a seller, how do I make this worth more than what's in my hand right now? Because at most, this is around $15 to $16 from bamboo, right? Well, to make this worth more, I have to convert this material into a product that is worth more. Now, the question is, how do I do that? It's the same thing that we've covered here. So on the low end, if our filament is $15, right? What needs to happen in between these steps to make it worth $50 to somebody? Now, I don't mean selling filament, right? I don't mean like I'm trying to sell filament to you or trying to sell $50 filament. But what I mean is like, what do I have to design and create and produce and manufacture? And who do I need to sell it to make it worth $50 to that person? Well, the person I sell a product to for $50 is vastly different than the person who just wants to spend $15 on a roll of filament. And these two people are different. Now, what's my point with this? My point with this is like, if you as a seller want to make more money, you need to be clear as to who are you selling to. What's the value that your product, value or solution that your product brings? And what's the outcome? What is it that your customers get? Right? So if I was selling filament, it's very clear that I'm selling a product to the 3D printing community. But if I was selling a mount or a stand that just happens to be 3D printed, but I'm not marketing it as 3D printed, I'm selling it to a completely different demographic who would be interested or mounts in stands, which would make this worth more money than what it costs to get the raw materials. And the reason why a video like this is important is because too often people come into 3D printing and they underestimate or undercharge their products because they look at the raw material value of their materials and then they compare the raw material value to their final product value and assume that they can't charge more just because your cost of products. For example, in any business, we all know we need to make money, and it's fair game to say that everyone needs to build a product that gives them enough profit margins that allows them to eat, survive, reinvest, and probably even pay people or hire people to run their business, right? And the thing is like, if you feel like you're undercharging for your product, it's simply because you have not answered these 3 questions as to who is your product for, and you have not developed a proper marketing plan to promote your products to the right audience. And if you're selling products and you feel like you're undercharging, it's simply because you just have not clearly defined who your target customer is. And I don't mean just by selling dragons, flexies, or toys or anything like that. I mean, if you're someone that's building a unique product and you feel like you're not able to charge more simply because, it's imposter syndrome, or maybe you just feel like it's not worth more, well, you're actually doing yourself a disservice, because by not having clarity as to who fits into this bucket, that means you're not able to increase your prices, and that actually makes your product worse. Now, think about it this way. If I were to spend $5 on a meal, do you really think I would be obligated to want to finish that meal? Probably not. But if I spend $50 on a meal, that means I'm much more likely to want to eat that meal, enjoy it, and finish it compared to the $5 one. And my point is, like, if you are a seller, by increasing your prices, that allows you to have more ROI, which allows you to build a better product, which is R&D, and that allows you to invest in your biz or you. And if you don't have a business where you're able to charge more, you're only going to be skirting by doing the bare minimum. And the same thing applies here. If your customers see that your products are not worth more, and by worth more, I don't mean just by artificially charging more, but what I mean by this is like, your products have to also show they're worth more. And in other ways, your products aren't always worth more just simply on the product alone. Now, what makes a product worth more? Sometimes it's, it's packaging. Sometimes it's the material. So I would say like the filaments, but like whatever material you use. Sometimes it's the marketing and brand that you put out into the world. Right? Sometimes it's the authority. So if you're an influencer and you have lots of views, you have authority, right? You're a well-known, respected figure in your space. Having these assets, whatever that looks like, you could incorporate that into your product, and that will by default allow you to charge more. And just by simply charging more for your products, that allows you to increase your ROI, to build and create better products, also making your products better, and also invest in yourself to make your business, your products, and as well as building a better experience for your customers. And you can simply charge more on a product just by incorporating these 4 elements, which is packaging, maybe better packaging, materials, the marketing. Marketing plays a big role in a lot of businesses and how much they charge for their products, and as well as brand or authority if you have any. right? And if you can do this really well, you can charge more for your products and designs, make more money, have way more fun, and having to print a lot less. And then once you get crystal clear on this, and coupling that with what we've covered so far early on, you can charge more for your products while still making the money you want. And I can tell you in my scenario, for example, in Mountable, we sell 3D printed mounts, and there is a lot of people in my community. And I don't want to say my core customers, but what I mean is like there's a lot of people who see that our products are 3D printed, and they simply see the value of the product on how much filament I use or how much material. For example, like if I charge $20 for a product, and someone who sees a product who knows it's 3D printed and who could kind of identify if something is 3D printed, they would more than likely make a accusation or say like, oh, you're overcharging for this product because it's 3D printed. But they forget the fact that it took time to design, it took R&D, it took work. There's also a presentation aspect, there is the branding aspect, and they forget that simply because something is 3D printed, that doesn't make it invaluable or less valuable. 3D printing is just the way we sell it, or the way we design things, the way we manufacture. It's not the way we sell it. So when I'm selling a product that is 3D printed, I'm not selling it to the 3D printing community and trying to get them to buy it for $4 to $5. I'm selling it to a specific demographic who is willing and able to see the value of the product and charge more for that product, and also being able to get away with it, not because I can, but rather because I'm able to deliver a much more valuable premium product that these people would want to buy. And that's my whole point with this video. So don't ever feel like you're not obligated or not able to charge more. You simply just need to know and understand who you're selling to, what is it that they want, and what's the outcomes that they want, and then create a product that fits into these 4 core buckets here, which is packaging, materials, marketing, and branding authority. And by doing that, you're able to charge more, you're able to create a better product, you're able to make more money, you're able to reinvest, you're able to create your own ecosystem of products, and you're able to build a better experience for you and your business, and also having a lot more fun while doing it, and without having to build an entire warehouse of printers, because you don't have to print as much, you actually have to print a lot less, making the same amount of money or more, and having more fun while doing it. So with that said, I hope this video has been insightful and informative. It's kind of been more of a rant, and I think this video should help you guys if you're a seller, if you're someone that is trying to make more and trying to build a business. And like I mentioned, this is not the flashiest video, but hopefully gets you inspired to take action and also put in the work to create better products and designs, because at the end of the day, 3D printing is a vehicle for us to create products and to help people with our products. So with that said, that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you're someone that wants to learn how to design and create your own products, design and sell your own 3D printed products, make sure to check out 3D Printing School. 3D Printing School gives you everything you need when it comes to designing, printing, and even selling. And I also document my journey around selling 3D printed products. I don't hold anything back. I don't gatekeep. The whole point of this community is to get you access to the materials and resources that are specifically designed to help you as a seller, and even more so as a designer. So if you're someone that wants to create your own products and designs, and you want to create your own products and sell it and 3D print them, then 3D Printing School is going to be an excellent addition to your toolkit. And with that said, I'm also going to leave a link down below if you're interested in signing up and checking it out. There is a 7-day free trial for a limited time. But with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.